Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It is March 22nd, 2023 and Barcelona have fired back and filed several lawsuits against media outlets in regards to the Enriquez Negreira case. Also, it's starting to look more and more likely that Iñigo Martínez will become a Barcelona player come the summer, and Barcelona have now turned their attention towards Vanderson to reinforce their right back position. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin with the bad news that it's looking like Pedri will be out for another 3 to 4 weeks, which means that he will be missing the second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final against Real Madrid. Now, as I reported previously, Pedri was recovering pretty well and he was expected to start in El Clásico this past Sunday. However, while training with the group, he felt some pain and discomfort, and after tests were conducted, it seemed that Pedri had re-injured himself, so he had to miss the El Clásico match, but it was initially reported that he could be back once the international break is over. Well, now it seems that that calculation was actually wrong, and it seems that Pedri will be out for even longer, and initial reports are saying that he could be out for another 3 to 4 weeks, which is of course a huge loss for Barcelona, because whenever Pedri is injured, the team's performance is impacted negatively. Now, of course, Barcelona have been able to manage to defeat Real Madrid without Pedri, so hopefully that will be the case when Barcelona will face off against Madrid once again on April 5th in the second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final. And that way Barcelona could hopefully beat Madrid and advance to the final of the Spanish Cup. Now on to the news that Barcelona have decided to fire back, and they have announced a series of lawsuits against media outlets in regards to the Enriquez Negreira case. Now, we've been talking about the Enriquez Negreira case for quite some time, where Barcelona are involved in a scandal, but it was discovered that they had hired the former referee Enriquez Negreira as a consultant while he was still the vice president of the committee of referees. And even though there is zero evidence that Barcelona attempted to pay off referees or buy any kind of influence through Enriquez Negreira, that hasn't stopped the Madrid-based media of constantly releasing stories accusing Barcelona of bribery, accusing Barcelona of buying influence through Enriquez Negreira, and even going as far of saying that everything that Barcelona has achieved these past 2 decades, such as the sextuple and a treble, that's all tainted, and it's all thanks to the briberies that Barcelona paid to referees through Enriquez Negreira. Now, Barcelona have decided to fire back against all these media outlets who have been dragging the name of Barcelona through the mud, and the club have announced 5 lawsuits against media outlets, with 4 more expected to be announced tomorrow, Thursday, March the 23rd, and with 5 more currently being planned. Now, I'm very happy to hear that Barcelona are firing back and they are now announcing all these lawsuits, because these media outlets have been dragging Barcelona's name through the mud these past 5 weeks, accusing it of bribery despite there being zero evidence of any bribery taking place. And I'm very glad that Barcelona are filing these lawsuits, and hopefully they'll go to trial and that Barcelona will win against these media outlets, because the irreparable damage that has been done to Barcelona's reputation is of course a very serious matter that these media outlets need to pay for. So I really hope that Barcelona win, and not only for the sake of the club itself, but also for the sake of journalism, because media outlets should not have a carte blanche to just slander and libel people and lie about things that are going on. So hopefully this will hold them accountable, and next time they'll think twice about publishing fake stories when they have absolutely zero evidence to back them up. Now, in a surprise move, La Liga's president Javier Tebas actually admonished Real Madrid and the Madrid-based media for constantly slandering the referees of La Liga, because as of late, Real Madrid TV had published several slam pieces where they compiled video clips of referees committing mistakes against Real Madrid, but making mistakes in favor of Barcelona to make it seem that referees are always favoring Barcelona over Real Madrid. And this has not sat well with La Liga's president, who said, "It seems pretty bad and exaggerated to me. It is damaging the reputation of Barcelona and the competition. The regulations of the Spanish Federation could intervene. Constantly adding fuel to the fire against the referees must have some repercussions." Now, I'm very shocked that Javier Tebas made these statements about Real Madrid, and hopefully he does live up to his statements and repercussions do follow, because it's absolutely unacceptable that Real Madrid and its media outlets are completely defaming Barcelona, making up lies, and mounting this whole media campaign in order to drag Barcelona's name through the mud. And these media outlets need to be taught that actions do have consequences. So hopefully they do receive some repercussions from La Liga and from the lawsuits that Barcelona have announced. Now on to the news that Barcelona are currently planning an Operation Rebate in order to please Xavi and continue building his project team. Now, Joan Laporta has already announced that Barcelona are planning to sign a striker, someone for the right back position, a center back, and even a midfielder, with İlkay Gundogan being the favorite option to fill that midfield signing. And then of course the club also need to register the contracts of all the players that they have renewed, such as Ronald Araujo, Gavi, Sergi Roberto, and Marcos Alonso. Now, in order for Barcelona to make these signings and these registrations, they are going to have to do some serious work in the summer, because as Javier Tebas has informed the club, they need to reduce their wage bill by 200 million euros in order to be able to continue their signings. Now, the Barcelona's wage bill currently sits at 648 million euros, and Barcelona are hoping to reduce it to 450 million euros. And the club had initially planned to make this reduction by the summer of 2024, but given Javier Tebas' statements, the club will now be forced to make this huge reduction by this summer in the next few upcoming months. Now, Barcelona are going to have to undertake several measures in order to accomplish this goal, including offloading several players, starting with the players who are currently on loan, such as Lenglet, Umtiti, Alex Collado, and Francisco Trincao. And Barcelona are also going to have to offload some of them first-team players, with some reports saying they could be either Ferran Torres or Ansu Fati. And aside of all these players being offloaded, Barcelona are still going to have to go even further in order to reduce their wage bill. And the club have announced that they will be conducting an audit of the entire club and all of its professional teams, because all the professional teams of Barcelona are going to be affected, and not just the first team. With the exception of the Barcelona Femení, they're the only team who are not going to be affected, because they do generate a lot of revenue, and which more than covers their expenses. So Barcelona will be looking at other teams to reduce that wage bill and be able to continue to sign players for the first team. Now, aside of all of this, Barcelona have also planned to sit down with players who currently have very high salaries. And as reported in a previous video, both Marc ter Stegen and Frenkie de Jong are reportedly very content at the club. They feel that they are very important parts of Xavi's new project, and as such, they are willing to reduce their salary. So Barcelona are planning to sit down with both players to either negotiate a salary reduction or negotiate a contract renewal with a lower salary. Now, two more players that can help Barcelona achieve that goal of reducing their salary is Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba. Now, in the case of Busquets, he can help Barcelona reduce their salary by either leaving at the end of the season when his contract expires, or even if he does decide to stay, it would be by renewing his contract with a much lower salary than what he's currently receiving. And in the case of Jordi Alba, Barcelona, no one in the club are currently confirming that Jordi Alba could be staying until the end of his contract, which expires in the summer of 2024. So Barcelona do have planned to sit down with Jordi Alba, but it's not for sure whether it's going to be to negotiate a lower salary for the player, or whether it's going to be to part ways with the current left back. Now, speaking of course of the players who Barcelona do want to bring in the summer, starting with that striker, Barcelona are currently working, of course, on the signing of Vitor Roque from Atlético Paranaense. And in the case of the center back position, it's starting to look more and more likely that Iñigo Martínez could become a Barcelona player come this summer. Now, Iñigo Martínez's contract with his current club, Athletic Club Bilbao, will expire at the end of the season, making him a free agent. And there were several reports that Barcelona had already negotiated a pre-agreement with the player so he could arrive at the club for free this upcoming summer. Now, it seems that Barcelona and the player have reached an agreement for him to arrive in Barcelona as a free agent this coming summer. But this agreement is pending that Barcelona reduce their wage bill in order to meet the financial fair play rules. So this signing, despite being announced that it has already been agreed to, it's not guaranteed, because if Barcelona cannot reduce their wage bill, then they won't be able to complete this signing. Now, the reason why Barcelona want to sign Iñigo Martínez is because Xavi has requested 5 center backs, and since Barcelona do have 5 center backs right now with Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, Eric Garcia, and Marcos Alonso, This further confirms the theory that Barcelona could be parting ways with Jordi Alba, because if that does happen, then Marcos Alonso would move to be the substitute of Alejandro Balde in the left back position, which means that Barcelona would be down to 4 center backs, with Iñigo Martínez being the 5th one. Now, the final position that Barcelona will be looking to reinforce is, of course, the right back position, who Barcelona have been struggling with for several years, ever since Dani Alves left. And a new name has risen to the top of the list, and that name is Vanderson. Now, we've talked about Vanderson several months ago. He's a 21-year-old Brazilian who currently plays in the Ligue 1 club Monaco. And Barcelona attempted to sign him in the summer. However, Monaco asked for 60 million euros, which Barcelona said no, because not only can the club not afford 60 million euros, it's also unrealistic, because Vanderson's transfer market value right now sits at 80 million euros. Now, Barcelona are very happy with the player, and they think that he has the Barcelona DNA and that he would be a good fit for the squad, because he's the kind of right back that likes to attack a lot, defends really well. He's also very strong and very fast as well. So Barcelona will continue monitoring the development of this player, and it's reported that they will be meeting with his agents in the upcoming weeks in order to discuss a strategy on how to go about his signing, because there's no way that Barcelona are gonna pay 60 million euros for Vanderson. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. Finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.